recommendations, we ensure that the fight against corruption and economic crime remains robust, transparent, and resilient against contemporary challenges. And in view of the expanded scope, the law, further consultative processes within government are still currently ongoing. We had anticipated that the bill will be presented to the current parliamentary sitting this July. Unfortunately, that would not be possible. It was our wish, but as I'm saying, we are still further consulting on the matter. On governance issues, Mr. Chairman, the overarching or underpinning our work as the DCEC is the promotion of good governance. Good governance is ultimately the foundation for sustainable national development, the public trust, and effective service delivery. Good governance is built on the principles of integrity, transparency, accountability, efficiency, and respect for the rule of law. So, right now, globally, if I may say, there's no doubt that the threat level to good governance is high globally. The threat is high, the threat is real, the threat is evolving. And it is evolving faster than countries worldwide are able to respond, are able to mitigate or outpace. And as such, it is our collective responsibility, Mr. Chairperson, as Botswana, to ensure that this threat does not take refuge in our country. So effective governance, it requires strong institutions. It demands decisive administrative action. Action where irregularities are identified. And it requires continuous monitoring to ensure that public institutions remain accountable for their actions. And honorable members, accountability in the public service is weak. The honorable committee, as the committee, you need to understand that corruption is an insidious crime that is found in all countries, big and small, and it impacts developing countries disproportionately. And your esteemed committee is essential, is critical in this instance. That is why by the end of the day, these issues that are raised in your committee, where there's a need, including that of the DCEC. For sensitization purposes, honorable members, issues definition of corruption. But corruption is universally defined as the abuse of entrusted power, abuse of authority or public office. And this is done for private gain, whether financial or otherwise. And at its core, as I've already highlighted, corruption is just a failure of governance and accountability, basically. And it occurs where ethical leadership does not exist or is inadequate, where there is no effective oversight, where controls are weak and deliberately circumvented. It is therefore not merely a criminal justice issue, but a governance and development challenge. It demands robust prevention measures or mechanisms, effective investigations, timely enforcement and collective institutional responsibility. I want to emphasize the point, that there's a need for a national response to corruption in order to make us aware that each and every one of us, we have a role to play to achieve a corruption-free society. The governance issues, they perpetuate corruption. Issues such as delays that are experienced by Botswana in accessing basic services. Delays create opportunities for corruption. They create opportunities for exchange of a valuable consideration. Weaknesses in our internal controls and compliance measures. Even when there's a breach, people are not held to account. Cumbersome or unnecessary bureaucratic processes in conducting businesses. These also manifest in corrupt acts. Our observations really DCEC. Greed is one of the significant contributors to corruption. Some of the cases that we are dealing with indicate that in some instances, these corrupt acts are done or fueled purely by greed. So it is these systemic deficiencies they hinder good governance and make public institutions susceptible to corruption. We have cartels that are deep-rooted across the country, particularly where there are services, Botswana by the talk. Cartels are deep-rooted, and Rebecca lima patali the ministry the laws are in place, but some of our laws the legislature even if reads reviewing, strengthening procedures and protocols, these systemic deficiencies so far create environment it's conducive for corruption. And going into our operational achievements and challenges, Mr. Chairman, investigations. The achievements, particularly investigations. I'm not going to hide behind issues of confidentiality. However, we need to understand, Honorable Chairperson and your committee, that Melau governor Botswana within the Directorate on Corruption and Economic Crime. Governor. And this area, we talk about issues of disclosure of confidential information. I would not hide behind that, but I would just like to caution. I would like to caution, Honorable Chairperson, I'm not going to end up disclosing operational matters, individuals. However, our achievements. We have, in recognition of our limited resources, both human and financial, we've devised a high-impact investigation plan for the 2026-2027 financial year, which essentially prioritizes cases in line with our 3 key priority sectors. That is procurement, lands, and DRT's licensing issues. One of our investigation strategies is also to continue with our lifestyle audits. Our Section 34. We deliberately deployed this strategy because we are desirous of conducting effective investigations which are capable of being successfully prosecuted and also able to influence the restructuring or revision of public administration processes and procedures. In particular, lifestyle audit. This strategy has actually enhanced our effectiveness because we've been able to detect and ensure that how do people amass their properties, and we've been able to conclude investigations within a reasonable time, unlike when we are just doing investigations proper. That's why you see this lifestyle audit strategy. The current operational environment, it demonstrates that increasing prevalence of allegations involving complex procurement arrangements, complex or abuse of office, conflicts of interest, issues of unexplained wealth, tender manipulation, governance, financial failures and misconduct. There is this strategy or this focus. So at present we have our challenges, particularly on the human aspect or the human capital. At present, we have 67 investigators covering the whole country, and 5 have recently completed their studies. So they are about 72 covering the whole country. And these investigators, each one of them has an average caseload of 20 cases per investigator on average. But Mikana writes, or the recommended caseload is between 3 to 6 cases per investigator. They go at least up to 10. When we talk about our caseload, so by 31st December 2025, Honorable Chairperson, our caseload stood at 1,614 cases that are active. Of the 1,614 cases, 1,095 were under active investigation, 89 were before the courts, 269 were before the DPP for assessment of evidence and possible prosecution. And when we look at the allegations that we receive vis-a-vis the active investigations, I could go back to 2023 or even 2024. We have noted an increase in the receipt of allegations of corruption from Botswana. If we make a comparison, in 2023 we received 652 allegations of corruption. In 2024 we received 687. In 2025 we received 957. That is an increase. And as at the 3rd of August this year, we have already received 556 reports from Botswana. On issues of asset restraint or recoveries, as at 31st December 2025, the total value of assets under pursuit for recovery amounted to 131,947,208.65 TEB. Of this, we have successfully referred 7,725,066 to the DPP for restraint and forfeiture. While in 2024, the Directorate managed to trace and identify proceeds of corruption valued at 144,240,085, which represented an improvement from the 1,888,000 that we had received previously, 2023. So when we look at the level of recoveries, we are improving, or we are on the right trajectory. On the corruption prevention side, Mr. Chairman, we do, in the Kibuaka, we conduct corruption prevention audits from, we have so far conducted. We have conducted corruption prevention audits in high-risk areas such as who issue the issuance and management of grants at the National Arts Council, prosecution processes and procedures at the DPP, processes and procedures of administration of PTA development funds in secondary schools, management of National Electrification Fund, to name a few. We further undertook high-level consultative engagements, honorable members, with the permanent secretaries and honorable ministers in order to engage on corruption risks and related issues affecting their respective ministries. Accountability starts with the accounting officer. And we have anti-corruption units that are established in different ministries with the view to assist accounting officers to manage administrative lapses within their ministries. So these are issues where we've engaged with the accounting officers. As a way forward and conclusion, Chairperson, the DCEC will continue to promote anti-corruption and integrity in Botswana by prioritizing institutional reforms that strengthen operational autonomy, that improve efficiency, that enhance public confidence in the fight against corruption. At the same time, corruption prevention interventions and public education initiatives will continue to be intensified to address these systemic vulnerabilities that I've mentioned before they rise or before they give rise to criminal conduct. I submit my executive summary. Should I go on and update on the resolutions from the 61st? Okay, sir. Progress on the completion of the 28 high-profile or lifestyle audit cases that I alluded to during the past sitting. These are still ongoing. Investigations are still ongoing. 2 cases involving 2 high-profile individuals were referred to the DPP for prosecution, while 2 restraint orders in respect of process or properties of the same have been awarded. 2 individuals these orders were successfully obtained from the courts. 1 of these cases is currently before the courts. With regards to the 50 high-profile cases that I reported last year, Mr. Chairman, the update is that we have so far 14 cases have been submitted to the DPP for assessment of evidence and possible prosecution. 7 cases are before our courts, and I must highlight that for some of the 7 cases I'm referring to, some are before our courts for asset forfeiture proceedings, while the criminal prosecution aspect is still outstanding. 1 case was concluded at the court with the accused persons, the convicted and sentenced to 3 years imprisonment, although wholly suspended. 1 case was closed on account of the demise of the accused person. On the aspect of the DIA model investigations, Honorable Chair, this case, I wish to highlight that the investigations, they entail allegations of corruption in relation to the appointment of 9 development manager model consultants and contracts. These involve 148 infrastructure projects. Currently, we are at an advanced stage in 2 of these matters. The Directorate has made significant progress in resolving and closing cases from the Ombudsman that were outstanding, Honorable Chair. Out of the 5 cases, 4 have been closed, and we only have 1 ongoing, which involves the confiscation of gadgets that has been retained as an exhibit in an ongoing corruption case. With regards to the legislative review, I've already given an update on the progress we've made so far with regards to the review of the Corruption and Economic Crime Act. That concludes my responses to the issues raised in the previous sitting. I submit, sir.
Alleged interference by the DIS?
Alleged interference by the DIS, the case, hell, no, you know, the reason why it's convenient because I know that you're going to raise issues regarding some of the investigations DIS. So I had intended to include it in my anticipated responses to your questions. However, that the case has been, the investigation has been concluded. And you would recall, Honorable Chair, a judge ruling or a judgment, the interference, or whatever happened during that time, the DIS had no right to close and seal the office of the Director General or DCEC. That judgment is out there. So
total DIS interfered with your work?
DIS, as per the judgment, it interfered with the work of the DCEC.
As per the judgment and
as per the events that were taking place at the time.
Yes. I can no judgment. When no DIS interfere when we judgment. From
remember however, from the events categorically stated, it is very clear that there was interference.
On that particular issue, I get it. Yes. But would there be other interferences by the DIS?
That is an issue where it's part of our history. You'd recall that when I came here last year, I stated that DCEC, there was a lot of turmoil. This turmoil, one of the issues that created the turmoil was the interference, perceived or otherwise. And for me,
perceived or real?
Perceived and real at the time.
Okay. Please don't.
And the first thing that I did after observations, I sat down with the Director General, and I clearly stated here last year, we are work in progress. Right now, we are no longer experiencing that interference. The DCEC is not experiencing that interference. The DIS does what it's supposed to do. It's but the intelligence high allegations. They refer those to the DCEC. That is how
we successfully called the DIS to order.
I have said.
You have.
Or maybe you stopped investigating that.
No, that is why interference. So the issues are going to come. Investigate.
Okay, so you have successfully called the DIS to order. But they are keeping their lane, you are saying?
Everybody's keeping to their lane now.
Okay.
Yes.
Members of Parliament, you can now engage. I'll start with Honorable Malusi.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Director General.
Good morning.
Director General, Director General. In my line of questioning, I'm going to question your organization because DCEC mandate is very, very important. And when you look at the amount of money that you are saying you are recovering, corruption in in the 3 years that you have been at DCEC, what have you achieved? Corruption, you have it under control. Just briefly.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I need to take you on a memory lane. But when I joined the DCEC in 2023, the DCEC was undergoing a lot of turmoil. And my first responsibility was to stabilize the organization, because you cannot operate under an organization that is toxic, if I were to say. So that was my fundamental priority, to stabilize and create a roadmap that will ensure that each and every individual or officer within the Directorate because I found an organization that was hurting. So that was the fundamental issue that I dealt with. So,
and have you successfully dealt with that?
I would say 80% I have successfully dealt with that, because if I were to give you an example or illustration, the first week that I was there, the only files that came to my desk in the illicit grievances, said officer, 50 files in a week. And that shows what if you are receiving 50 files in a week only dealing with grievances. So that was the fundamental issue that we managed as a team or as an institution to stabilize the organization. There were issues of a lot of issues, leakage of information, if you recall, within the public domain every day, but that has also since stabilized, because we created, or we came up with the structures. Has this issue been divulged by our investigator or our officer? And re harsna re ipakanya re heletse re khona go itemogela tse ileng gore diswa re di bona go dipampiring, maybe le re le setting with confidence gore tse ha di se mo go rona tse ra bona re di tswa kae.
Okay, no, that's fine. So the rate of corruption according to you? Okay, I don't want you to refer to Transparency International level.
Rona la re lebile DCEC modula stilo corruption e oketsegile. It could be that we are now resetting really lepata to the point where people are, they are able to come and report. That is why maybe the reported because people are now having confidence more there are a lot of cartels. These cartels where people engage at least somebody else out there so it's a cartel. When it comes to issues services, corruption.
Okay, no, thank you very much. Do you have rogue officers? They are bringing the name of the institution into disrepute.
I would not say rogue. The definition of the word rogue but the officers they can by their conduct bring the organization into disrepute, and so far where we identify such we do carry out investigations, and Some of our officers.
Okay, tell me, there was this case that was in the newspaper. Yeah, your deputy director, Malambani, and another investigator in Geningie, where they allegedly went to a city minister's farm and basali telelo ba go investigate whatever investigation. How far is that investigation?
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. As an institution, there's a lot of a lot of issues about impersonate you. That issue came to our attention, and we did our investigation, and that issue was also referred to the police. And now we came to conclusion on that the officers never went to a rare Ramohapi's farm. If but
the information that I have is that is an officer that is very close to you that went there. But anyway, I will engage further on that. What is your relationship with Malamba? I was very surprised that you didn't let him Horaika. What is your relationship, working relationship?
Go ahead.
No. Hey. For me, you don't have a good working relationship. Oh. When I saw you blocking, blocking, I thought, oh, okay.
It was rather curious, though, but
no,
you can explain.
It's before coming here, we sat down and discussed this, we strategized, and we agreed that as the accounting officer, you are going to account, you are going to answer.
Okay.
Okay. And you answer or relationship
honorable. My relationship with Rema Lambani is good.
Why
yes, just allow her to answer?
Can I answer, please?
Allow her to answer.
My relationship with Rema Lambani is good. Kana, we need to understand one thing. Haratela mo di officing Botswana. Ibile haratela mo di officing go thola re le ditsala. Re tetse mo officing go bereka. Na le Malambani ra bereka and re bereka senteroti. There has been issues when somebody joins a team, obviously there are different stages that you go through as a team. You start off issues of understanding. You start then storming. I'm sure you know the process of team building. And where we are in a good place.
Okay, but why did he refuse to EFS a letter appointing the assistant director in his department? Guru Muhireti, a senior assistant director, and Abahanaho UFS that appointment. Is that true?
That is true. That is true. But it is true, and so far as where you do not agree as a leader and the deputy, where you do not agree on a position or really. But you need to understand, I'm the Director General. So where we do not agree, I take precedence.
Emma, Kings, Ilihore, and Mutio Mapointile, Kena controlling the operational funds. The control again, the superior. Has worked on how trust or Ukatsara Madia on our Anzinja.
The person does not control operational funds. I guess our control or an honorable member. Can you clarify?
This person or something like that. Because that's the information that I have. If it's not true, that's fine.
No, it's not.
There was a letter from OP to you to investigate senior officers by they are financially embarrassed. How far is that investigation? financial embarrassed about. Do they have any access to the money that I was talking about?
There was a letter from OP where somebody wrote to the Honorable Minister about certain individuals within the DCEC by what we call zero pay or below minimum pay. Government. We did the investigations, reiterate our own investigations, the minister response that particular individual and that particular person. So
it's just one person.
It was more. Initially, it was one, but another letter. If we are others.
But was there a push? How much financial embarrass job? How can I do just already tell? Was there a push?
Details. The disciplinary process have to ensue. But just to maybe clarify the issues when we investigated, we came to an understanding or do a before it was in a then, and where as a leader you would be, your officer would have comfort in coming to you that I'm going through a process, I'm going through these difficulties, but every household boy take as an issue, but then.
Okay. Currently, you don't have an officer. There's a
no, but yeah. I agree we are talking about one particular.
No, I had said officers. Okay. Because the letter that I had says officers.
I guess the reason why it's dwelling into a financial embarrassment because how the regular DCEC you're susceptible to bribes and other things. I think that's where you're coming.
Yeah. Indeed, we still have a number of officers by Longori, and below the minimum pay. There are processes we are doing. The investigations they are because Ghana, like Mondulas Tilabua, where we are, we cannot afford to have somebody, being paid below minimum because so we do have those officers and supervisors do take the necessary disciplinary processes, although discipline you.
Okay. Transition. You used to be PSCO Defense Ministry, and then there was a issue where you were suspected to have been involved in the acquiring of land, Kotsulufelo, and DCEC was investigating you. Are they still investigating you? And is it true that the officer that was held in that case has been transferred?
I would not know, Honorable Chair. I would not know. I get how you are talking about me. As an individual, what we do as an institution, if we are investigating somebody, why it's until the time when there is enough evidence to warn and caution them and interview them. I have never been interviewed, so I would not know what I might be investigated. And as an individual or as a person, I'm not immune to being reported. Applies even to me. So, Honorable Chairperson, I would not know or am I being investigated.
But how no la kopana, and we had a committee and I decided to investigate. So maybe this case would have come we saw before. But then there's an allegation that an officer was investigating you was transferred. So how transfer the investigation officer? across government. How many officers have been transferred since you came into DCEC? Never the case, not necessarily your case, the case here, because I would expect to investigate as a specialized skill. Or have some investigator, Jacoronal 5 hours on schooling. Hakato comes to work whatever they are doing. So, how many officers have been transferred?
Officers by Longore were seized with investigation cases that have been transferred. Not open. That is or transfer all why on I investigate. There's one that was investigating high profile cases, resigned from the DCEC. There's one that has been transferred, but on us investigate.
Okay. Hello.
Last one.
We have seen how change of government is very one the cases that former ministers. I think the kids don't do before court, they do pursuing for feature. Yeah, put I make DCC how free are you? I think we like a Kenya, I noted down. How free are you to investigate the current could any party that is currently in government, that the leadership, really you don't have security of tenure, really you report to the OP. Obviously, you cannot come and interview the president or investigate out the data. People who are in power, allegedly never saying, it immediately have some power within months. You will look at one investigation. And you noticed, and last time, you are investigating even some current ministers. But one of the are you going to wait for them to leave before
Yes. Where we are, Honorable Chairperson, we are investigating the current and the former. And we are doing it without fear or favor. Until these cases, they don't come from after the elections. They had started even before.
But then maybe you couldn't charge because they were in power.
The investigating corruption, Honorable Chairperson, takes time. You cannot start investigating now and tomorrow secure a prosecution. It takes time. That is why I'm saying these cases do not necessarily were not necessarily started only after the new government. They started before.
But if you take Isaac Kosi, may he so rest in peace. His cases only came into light after he was removed from being DG or DIS. Otherwise, allegations it's about 50 million briefcase in what. Right now, we have many cases, even in our reported nature that the current DG. He promoted his own wife. And you're talking about ethics and governance, but we're not seeing any cases. We're talking about interference, but investigate. So you're not free to do your job because but people with more power than you are currently very powerful and young. So tools. Parliament support and DG the power because because then whenever the RTS, whenever PTA, we didn't hire you for 50 people. the hundreds of millions. I know what. But go go khalon tsa rona gona dikwele gona dipatela gona ditsela gona melemo madi a utswa ke batho yang re batla gore o re thuse go go thusa. That's where my question is coming.
I think you have made your point. A point here like tamaletseng ke gore a me o gollesegile go investigate ba ile gore gompieno ke bona ba tshwereng power ka gore o ha dikai tse di tshelang wa di utlwa le tsone gore ba ile gore ba togetse power ke bona ba lebega ke te ba setse morago gona le ba ba leng teng ba no ka ile in our last engagement gore gona le bangwe ba ile gore ba le one le ba lebile.
Honorable Chairperson, thank you, honorable member. Last year when I came here, very clearly where we are investigating high-profile officials, some of them the former ministers, some of them within the current administration, and I'm still going to repeat that. I would not say the power. The Act gives me powers to investigate. What we are currently doing is to reinforce, strengthen the operational autonomy of the DCEC based on the issues once we decide that, honorable member. That is what we are working towards. And when the bill comes to Parliament, to the floor of Parliament, let us support. We need to ensure investigations are done independently, transparently, and fairly. But we are investigating current administration and even the former administration. When it comes to the DG, we have cases. We do. So, and 2 of them are almost complete. So I would not say Retshaba Hototomisa Bangwe.
Honorable member, our DG, you can move power. Ubonya, Belela Bonya. Mogobali Babala Tretunge Power Nya, or Pouncer. Rialo.
Baba or Baba do salary small
Thank you. Thank you. Honorable Thousand.
Sorry, my chair. Is there a time period to investigating cases? Get out before the cases become stale.
Right. New you to let Kanya or I'm not going to time frame. And I can't tell Lautimola to will handle our Wallaka or Tena Hotel. The must be handled to what that's modified. But what I think I can how high or one way around there.
No, we do have turnaround times.
You have turnaround time.
Okay. For category A cases, we have 24 months. 24 months for Cat A cases, and Cat B and C, 12 and 6 months.
Because we would do it Honorable Jacobs. Honorable Gana how much you hit Ozonja Hana wait some Melahochaya, American around to the Honorable Diva.
Hey, Yalibuham, last year. The Greg. He was the accounting officer or Ghana. I don't know how we can have a tona. Jago to miss the cases when it's corruption. When how it TV le hello ikala. How effective are your operations? I want to wear a thing. Can I want to tiro yo he gets a catselang?
Thank you, Honorable. Na hakikala. Kana Honorable Ikal. Looking at the years that I've been at the DCEC from 2023 up to now, what I have done or accomplished, ke bona le gore ke rile tiro ka botswapelo. I've already alluded to the recoveries or the asset recoveries. I've alluded to the issues that caseload. We've actually reduced the caseload from 1,045 in 2023, 2024 to 296. It's a backlog of cases. I have engaged the leadership, particularly the civil service, to an extent where I engage le bonebo accounting officer go ba libisa gore tota tshenyeso se tshaba e kare e dira eng mo lehatsheng. So I've actually nka ikala gore I've done more than I went an extra mile.
Sorry, just a quick one. Mose Kalinse, on Orle last time, or on 50 high profile cases. Make Utuaki to carry Ukaro Salat Kumara Tatamogo, Itabani Leson. We call it Jamu 26.
And I highlighted for the 50 high profile cases already since I came here last year. Already 14 cases have been submitted to the DPP.
Yes.
And there are at least 269 what we have dealt with within the DCEC, where we sit and there's a closure panel. Part of our disposal. So me mo gompieno le tsone tseo tsa the high profile do oketsegile
go totane ke re o ikale ka tsone gore ha e le ne di le 50 o dirile 14 se ka le o ka re se bala go tasa.
High profile cases, Honorable Chair.
Once we reported last
high profile cases. I'm not talking about category C cases. High profile cases. 12 months is not enough. That is why I said
24 months.
Turnaround times 24 months.
Okay, go ahead, Regula.
Is your presence felt by the organizations? Say, is your presence felt? Or this organization, is it felt by people outside there, including the organizations you are supposed to be investigating? Corruption appears to be, the rate of corruption is increasing. Reports about 600 on annual basis. And our presence like and what are you doing in terms of public education who sensitize about against corruption?
Thank you, Honorable Member, and thank you, Chair. I've already highlighted our public education strategies, the employer, Honorable Chair, but we cannot safely say they are enough. Ghana public education is continuous. You can't say, no, today I've educated and somebody is now educated. You have to continuously ensure that you develop the strategies they attract the Botswana. We have different categories study public education strategies. For the civil service or the public service, the presentations that are done for different ministries. When we look at the youth programs, banana, programs that say or a tertiary programs we engage in different activities. The trade fair.
Example, when did you last go there to sensitize people to corruption?
Right now, 3 weeks ago,
take Maung and Buvira as an example.
Maung is even honorable office ko. Education is part of it. We have an office in our Maung area.
The existence of an office. Ke bua ka the activities tsa lona tsa public education, the outreach programs. When were you last ko Buvira? Mo lo dira sengwe se supang gore lo leka go sensitize batho against corruption.
Yeah, me re itebagantse le sone, Honorable Chair. Buvira specifically, I would not know. In the last last year, not this year.
What do you normally do? How do you do public education?
We have different programs. Let us take an example that we used. Let us take an example like we were we were there to commemorate the Africa Anti-Corruption Day. But prior to commemorating this day on the 11th of July, we do engagements with the community. Resumolo sa hela ka ho engage bohosi, ra engage ba di council, ra engage bana ba dikolo go ira di debate competitions throughout that week until it culminate into the day go commemorate the Anti-Corruption Day. That is how we mobilize Botswana and sensitize them.
An annual event, how we your regular operations. Like for instance, the council they are sitting all over the country. I've never heard of you addressing the council. Even our office, your National Assembly, you have never visited us for sensitize, and we are the rightful person by to go around Modikota meeting to sensitize about. And are you telling me that you are doing enough?
I'm going to repeat myself, Honorable Member and Honorable Chair. Education can never be said that it is enough. With regards to the full council meetings, my office has visited some this year, some full councils, not all. Yeah.
Marianne, Akabandi office. Kana tota se kutwang mo Parliamentary go a se bua ke gore o kare tshaba ya Botswana ga e file office ya gago. Ha ile ka gore Musido aga tswa ke se biro go tsaki. Musido wa gago lentswe la gago ga le utlwale mo Botswana sente gore gona le office mo e leng gore ka re motho a kanya go tsena mo corruption ya bare. Hey, Mama Kakhalena is watching, the big sister is watching. Ukararia, how Utidi. The officer with Tidi, Ukararia. When worry.
Kiamuta, Honorable Chair, I get it. L'officer, I did. Me, I get this as a Hone, it is not adequate. I have to admit, it is not adequate. Maybe I know this is compounded even by issue on our the trippy Hakona Madukanali moratorium what's a matzama loner or hukudis. Mary Risa other avenues here, Zabomaranyane and Hore Rokono Buale Batswan. Me hasi hako enough. Ivile, I'm going to maybe like a hundred locos so far, but the Honorable Member, it is not enough. It is not enough. So, the clerk wa Parliamentary because lelona Honorable Members le thokana le gore le buisiwe le thokana le gore le re thuse le nna mantswa rona go di constituencies tsa lona So that is an issue where Honorable Galibo.
ne ke re ke botse gore nna di-case tse di-promotion tse di diragala tse re sa di tlwaelang tsa motho a promotiwa a tudisiwa di-scale tse dintsi a baya ko godimo a promotiwa go tlogela di-seniora tsa gae di sa promotiwe a di a go ama. Is this within your mandate?
We have those they are being investigated because Ghana, they can border on issues of abuse of office.
Le tsone tsa maloba go buiwa ka tsone ha o setse o tsweletse ka tsone wa di investigate. In the end re sologele eng ka di investigations tsa teng. Re sologele gore batho ba ba tla tswella ba le mo di posting tsone tseo kana ba tla busetswa go morago.
Investigation e ke yone ta determinang honorable member and honorable chair.
Okay. O buile ka melao gore e silwe ke nako e swantse gore e ba ka nngwe wena o tsenye ka 2023 what have you done to strengthen melao ya di-operations tsa lona gore ga batho ba nna le molato ba tselwe dikgato tse di gagametseng ke ra have you effected some changes mo melao ya lona?
The fundamental or the Corruption and Economic Crime Act, a bill has been produced or developed. But Ghana, within the operations Salepata, you do have, or you need to have guidelines, you need to have operational or standard operating procedures. From time to time, so I've done that, particularly for certain operations. When I came, an account or an operational fund, so what I did was to review the utilization of the fund and the management of the fund and developed governance structures to make sure accountability exists within the management of that fund. More from the top of my head, sir.
Okay. I'm a bit concerned about the rate of the report. It's a the receiver on annual basis. This is 1,000 because we know about 600. You have 500 reports. Say you have received. Doesn't this have an impact? Maybe more staff welfare alone. When did you last meet staff salona go bona gore ba khotsohalla tiro ya bone ba itumella ha ba berekang teng le environment e ba siametse?
Thank you very much. Tata, we receive a lot of reports. It's not 500. There's negative 556 from January to now. But Honorable Member, I can say it authoritatively. I do meet or engage with my staff. On a monthly basis, we have our performance management meetings where I chair. On a quarterly basis, I have staff engagements where I go around the regions to offices outside Gaborone, and there are certain times where I even invite the Honorable Minister to come also learn the officers so I do engage. On a weekly basis, I meet with my executive or so there's a lot of engagement, sir.
Yeah, I'll give you a staff satisfaction survey, maybe to help you understand what
We've made attempts for a staff satisfaction survey. I think immediately when I arrived, I tried, for the first time it never materialized. People did not respond to the questionnaire. So we kept on improving and reducing the number of questions and making them at least so we've done one so far.
Thank you, Chairman. Let's let me see to Modi ministering Gabuinti. Re tshwantse ke gore we tla gona le overspending, especially at the allowance. Mele go go lona go repotile gore gona le overspending at the allowances of 2 million. Why is it happening? The overspending did nothing.
For allowances and for the financial year under discussion, the allowances are applicable to each and every officer of the DCEC. How only issues say somebody acts for another position, from there. How only issues where somebody either resign or transfer you. Issues
overspending sales at the allowances, they are justifiable.
They're justifiable, say, including okay. Those.
The investigations in the Buatse. Let's hakai morzone. For example, Botswana on purchase on aircraft. Parliament issue a Venue Hotel, and I hope you know about it. Senior DIS officer, use of operational funds to build a house. DIS interfering with the water project tenders. Helicopter environment and tourism. That's okay. Zeloriki dina le baka re go itsuka tsone le tsama hakai mo go tsone. And if there is any delay, there is delay. Why is there such a delay?
Thank you very much. There has been delay. Some of them experienced inordinate delays, Honorable Member, for various reasons. There are some that have already been submitted to the office of the DPP. There are some that are at an advanced stage, Modi investigation in Sarona. There are some for instance, the Avani Hotel issue. I think the reason why in the headline, Honorable Chair, is because when it came to us, Rona, from the assessment, the panel, from the assessment, we believed it's a matter that can be reported to the police, because from the elements there could not be valuable. The valuable consideration aspect was not coming out very clearly, so we reported it as fraud to Botswana police. Unfortunately, they returned it back to us, so that they will create that delay. But where we are, we progress on. On the issue of the helicopter, we've concluded the investigations. The investigations have been submitted to DPP. On the issue, the
operational funds are used to build a house.
The
officer.
Okay, we have, as I've highlighted, a number of investigations concerning the GIS, because a lot of officials are coming to report. A lot of the issues, we take them from the different media outlets, social media. So we do take all that and they're the process. So we have a number of investigations, at least two from those investigations that's really advanced. And we may with a view closer because we've concluded there's no case to answer for the cases under investigation, active investigation. I would not be in a position to disclose what it's a mahagai.
In your view, these cases, they are still under investigation. Don't you think they have taken rather too long? And when do you expect them to be closed?
A lot of our investigations gonna anchor more, at least two things. For the issues of records or record keeping. The issues are the record you tell as investigators where we are unable to find the records more defiling. Number two, issues are financial investigations. At times, they are complex. We have to go to different banks, review the statements, read the analysis, and where we are still battling or grappling with lack of ICT infrastructure. Is something so that is also what exacerbates some of these delays. More ditotomis on Zarona, but me retweletse chairman kaditotomis.
Minister of Health, right? So kana melemohayo. It appears there's so much corruption there. There's an officer, Minister of Health, would claim corruption I chalos, but abai hello wa sabotajiwa wa this is way back in 2017. Once you have a warrant of search, once you have a warrant of arrest, are you aware of such a case? Lina la gagwe o rileng ka lebua go tlhokala batai a wish o kana o itse gore ke mang e be re sa buile la gagwe mo phatlalatsa but she's it's a lady, she's very concerned gore ba le ka go supa corruption ko ministry no go tsonga ya no go boa gapane na bone ba kubiwang batwe.
You know, honorable members, I would share with you. One of the issues is issues protection of whistleblowers. A lot of whistleblowers are victimized. The issue, and we are working around the clock to inform would-be whistleblowers or that have blower the whistle. What actions should they take, or what steps should they take to make sure they protect? But you're talking specifically of a case there 2017. I would not know unless if you allow us to go provide the answer after you give us the information.
True, Chairman Mickey Camerona. But you see, there are so many issues.
Maybe just
up
on
to 10.
Sorry, just on health. Would you have any ongoing investigations on procurement through CMS?
We do, sir.
You do have one or quite a number?
We do have quite a number
of investigations around CMS.
Around CMS, we do.
I think when I about the legislator study council because one hour hakayano, because of corruption, so I think we really would be very interested in that. Thank you, Ramari.
Thank you. Chairman, because but what quality do it issues and I think they are di na le bonnete nna ka re bonang ka teng yaanong gongwe chairman ya arrange gore because of time ha re ka di go botsa tsotlhe gongwe o kwalelwe gore there is this issue ka eng this issue ka eng a bo ka respond because this morning we may not exhaust tsotlhe tse di leng teng mare di ntsi thata accounting officer. Thank you, Chairman.
All right.
I would appreciate that.
Ra re kopo eo I accept the Chairman ya gore ba kwalelwe ka di issue tse di ntsi tsena
Yes.
tse le bana o leng aware of
Yeah, I think that
ba respond.
that is accepted. Honorable Malusi has in the past given about 40 issues to a ministry. I think how on a depends a long way, Arakwana would cover and may dumela would be important, can pass on the information to them. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Are we ready for break? Yeah. We can now break for 15 minutes and come back and engage further. Okay.
Come ke go lebile honorable.
Accounting officer. Technical advisor o tsame o tswa ka ditemi tse a re le bangwe ba ntseng ba monitora ba retsi ba re o tshoma thata ta gore tse dingwe o tsame o ntse Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Honorable Bell, you are next, so it's not going to
Thank you.
Honorable Mabel.
Like Mr. Chairman. DG, Artlot, can I put only four elas the camera saying, Haki depositins. I wish Gabogana went in Nerga engage on Saharo tickets to fight investigations against the drill. Kiwaga Toto can a lady Nepalese only say. Yaran ke power arts by me mobile maruring arts by me artamalela bisan. DG, Arlofa DCEC Alpalogitiru.
Honorable member.
Okay, so why are non governmentana Heshaga or dire forensic audit? But what forensic audit? How about the three Swanalana? Canada Baba Hiloga 72 millions in DCEC. Holomon Tower Lepalakitiro. Who's leisure?
Thank you very much, Honorable Member and Honorable Chair. Harepalokitiro, sir. Are Kakopare Harlohanye, the issue. Conducting a forensic audit does not nullify. You can
mix the languages fine.
Forensic audit, how nullify the effectiveness of an anti-corruption agency, because remember, forensic audit, auditor, identifier the red flag. Subsequent to a forensic audit, you still need to now investigate those red flags that were identified by a forensic audit. So, but by engaging in a forensic audit does not mean this is Palakitiru.
So, no one forensic audit, Obana Hosa Sengwamadi, for forensic audit, Patala Nelsa Honotra forensic audit.
Tota Honorable Member, you are asking me a question in my personal capacity or Akebona Hosa Sengwamadi, Hase Potsuenga Yarabanghan. Because forensic audit is so please.
Okay, fine. Kare. At the ready ranking forensic audit, I totally to read Rangel Patalaho.
Nyar, Honorable Member. That is why I are separating the issue. We investigate. They audit. Bob identify na I investigate and weki bona or hosenzwe. And for me to investigate, I can also need or utilize a forensic audit report.
Okay, that's fine. Are we at the anti-corruption units?
Just a quick one, Ramabel. Your forensic audit report.
No, sir. I don't have the forensic audit report.
How is you?
I don't have the forensic audit report, so I don't know the contents of the forensic audit report because I have not received it.
Okay.
But also, I know that is your comment. Grauri, as DG, do you expect or a lender mutaflin?
Yes, sir. It's all I have.
Thank you. Go ahead, Honorable.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's okay, man. No, don't worry. We will fight for you to push for you. You need to have that forensic audit. We will fight for you. Hesitate. That's fine. We will fight for you. You need to have access to that report. Yabubedi, Arbueka, the anti-corruption units. The anti-corruption units is the ministry. Are these your units or do they belong to the ministries? Are these your officers, Baba Mudi anti-corruption units? Are they your officers or they belong to ministries?
These are officers at the ministry, Honorable Member. They are not members of the Directorate. The reason being that currently, Molao Sansosa cover hore bakanna part and parcel of the DCEC. So we are working. Part of our review yone ya molao ne le gone go lebella gore tota ga re ba tsenye mo di structureng tsa rona, but currently at this clock ga ba ke the officer tsa di minister.
So this it's not the best scenario, is it?
No.
So are you saying that in the new act you are going to include the anti-corruption units in the new act?
That is our intention. That's what is contained in the proposal.
Okay, I'm grateful for that. These anti-corruption units, are they effective? Are you seeing any good results?
These anti-corruption units are effective. What we need to maybe reshare, they are there to assist the accounting officer, because the accounting officer is responsible for the management there. Bone, what they do is to look at all the administrative lapses, what we call preliminary investigations. Procurement what are the recommendations? What are recommended to the accounting officer? All things being equal, these anti-corruption units should be reporting directly to the accounting officer.
Okay. Is it proper that they need to get everything, they get approval from the accounting officer to investigate, or even the report that before they give to you, they have to go through the accounting officer? Is that proper?
It is proper. However, where they believe or there's evidence reflect on where the accounting officer might be implicated, they bring the issue directly to our offices.
Are they covered or protected to do that? Myself, Kilefa, Kiberga Ministry Munganga Buagalina, Kilegarga reporter, so corruption is of all say haters. Hagzanago anti-corruption unit reporter. The head about put our Munamavel, Waburing, Ugaru sweets or Mutu, Kimutua, Hamuhulu, Ware Jang. Can you escape Solomon escape recipe? It's a group of the anti-corruption unit. Hokel has got a personal relationship with the PS. The head of anti-corruption unit, they ampulella to my face. Now, what I was a junior officer, horror. That won't be possible because why it's or mutu. So, are you still saying it's the right? But why by the anti-corruption units, shouldn't they be completely independent of these PSs and work directly with you?
I would not say they should be completely independent of the accounting officer or the PS. Primarily because the structure is established to PS. But where the structure as it is, so that the rectifier this end up in that case.
Do you have an example of one case? Just one case. Tulengo anti-corruption unity, yatsanaga PSA, yatlagolona, ya prosecutor, ibile yabe ya fela. Just one. One case. Case high secularly it's in the public domain. Yeah, I'm asking you just one case. One. Since the establishment of DCEC. One case. Edulengo anti-corruption unity, ya be ya go prosecutor ya khona. Le 1 year.
Tota Where I am, I'm unable to.
It's a useful point.
cite.
Let's
Me,
allow
I can-
your deputy to whisper.
No,
to
he
use-
did whisper.
Oh, they have already whispered.
Yes, he did whisper.
Okay.
There's one. Yeah, immigration. In a mutata below Heleza Kubi. Me, the issue, honorable member, the anti-corruption units are useful. They provide information.
DG.
Therefore,
DG.
I'm not trying to argue with you.
DG. But that's about nako.
I've mentioned that one.
Yeah. Wabena wa sokola to get an answer. Fix the structure, equip the anti-corruption units, and give them. They must be detached from ministries. They must work with you. They are headed at E2. And go E2 ba le ba rapela di contracts tsa bone security of tenure ha ba ka ba sekisa thata because they are under the contractor. Sitting with they are headed at D3, sitting with they are headed at D2. This is just please fix such things, include them in the act. We will be waiting for that act. They are listening right now. Anti-corruption units, they are highly disgruntled and unhappy. Because DCEC. If they don't want to work, they can just sit and not work, essentially. So fix that, because corruption Ibile aribue ka corruption e ko lephateng la gago a gona le corruption ko DCEC lona ba lwatsang corruption a gona le mongwe ke la mosekisa a bereka ko DCEC.
Thank you, honorable member. Renali, a case currently Maung, one of our officers is appearing before the courts on issues corruption.
Okay. Ke batla re bue ka di project, the technical officer wa di project. Ko gantsi le na le matlo a mabedi a na renovatiwa. House DA12 and House DA71. Matlo a mabedi a na renovatiwa. A renovatiwa ka madi a 1.3 million. House DA12 is renovated at 736,000. House DA71 is renovated at 500,000, 534,000. I made the price to renovate ntlo. More than 500,000 just to renovate. Because the roof and minor sewage repairs. The prices. Renovate 736,000. Renovate 500,000. Price renovation the prices DG.
Thank you, honorable member. We are busy renovating Matual or Ritete Anali Lebaka as I receive Ibile assets are vandalized. So Tota Horebeke Taho justify the amounts right now. I would not be doing any justice to your question, honestly. We don't just do this by ourselves. The issues of maintenance, the issues of procurement, the issues of the BOQ,
okay.
Other offices.
The were you aware of them? Did they not raise eyebrows or concern for you. Because we renovate ntlo ka 736. We renovate ka 534,000. These figures don't make sense to me.
Maybe, honorable member, the amounts initially were much higher than that because of the issue of renal concern. That is why they were even reduced.
So,
They were much higher.
So they are
No, I didn't also have honorable member, but
what are you doing about it?
issues are raised when I raised the amounts, the concerns that the amounts at the time. These houses, the structure that's one, because they are badly vandalized. Badly vandalized. The structures are almost collapsing. One of them, a lot of work to do. So, not that can justify 500 is adequate. Me.
Our technical office, gore matloa ana ke luka bokai initially. Ke batla go bona the initial price ya ona ga giwa le madia a go renovate. Ke kopa gore o ne le office ya rona information eo because these figures are just scary to me. Arwe ko maung le bakantse office ko district admin office. Lidriste madi go renovate, but you've never occupied it. Koma maung gape, lidriste madi go partitiona kana go bakanya office ko gambe ko ke botho college ko maung. Me gala occupy office eo le ko molo. Go fa go iragetsa DJ gore le dirisa madi to renovate matlo ya district office yona e botoka bile ka ye ke ya government ya bo botho college yona is a private person. Let's go baganya office e be le sa e occupy. Why did that happen?
Thank you, honorable member. Yeah, the district admin office, that was our first or initial office that we occupied, Harry Bula, the Maung office, and we were there for a very long time, and we are still using that office, for your information.
You're using it as parking space?
No.
For
our exhibits, so Raidiris. For exhibits.
Yeah, but to
college, unfortunately, I'm not aware. Very unfortunate. I'm not aware of a regular partitioner. But to college, believe it is occupied. So that can I be given an opportunity to go look for information? Provide honorable.
Please do so, Chairman.
Yeah, Chairman.
Please do so, because all of our partitioner lebelesa dirisa office maybe let's apply it's owned by Libuto owner Gamiti. Ke ka bua kana ya no tla ke motlotle ene as a business person because I think corruption e mo le phatella gago go office ya go CBD le partition le partition ka 3.4 million me mobile of quantities the provisional price ya electrical works mo BOQ in a year 100,000. Me, the price was subsequently raised to 709,000. How? What happened here? This technical officer or project office. Oliver Hangdi, ke studio tse dintsi. Fa ke sample ya le tharo fela. Ke tshotse tse dintsi thata tse di supang gore office ya gago ya di project ye. Ba le ba le corrupt thata. Go tsamaile jang gore the price la tshwanele 100,000 me madi a feltseng a biolo ke 709,000. What happened for electrical works only?
For that project has come to my attention, and for electrical works, I believe there was a national issue at the camera some of these operational issues. There was installation of cameras as well, included in the electrical aspect. Me, Lena, those concerns, right now, we are investigating that matter. I've instituted an investigation on the issue.
Yes, okay. You must update us on the progress of that investigation.
Yes.
Because Kibile Kayone, we want to know how is it possible? Bill of quantities near 100,000. From there, we just 709,000. Please keep us updated on that one.
Maybe just on the timelines.
Honorable Chair, I should just compile a report of all the issues that have been raised instead of piecemeal responses. Kindly give me 2 weeks to
accepted.
Compile the report.
Yeah, accepted. Go ahead. That is your last question.
Eric, that was my last question. DG, Holofa, Botswana, and myself were really concerned. You are supposed to be fighting corruption. Corruption is a good Holomo is a Holomo Quatsosa. Kekupare, Ako, Ulanse, corruption, Hargara, Kayone, Hilo, Kuloko, and I outlet. Jaga Kibua, Kitsur Tutu. Kidirle investigation is a million that's a buma champlani, maybe the pedite. Kitsur Tutu, Ya Butata Bobuko Huena. Boke let's encore, Kikopahoro, Ubulance, Utorahanele Bone, Utorahanele Baba Torahan. Yes, sir.
Are you able to share Tutu? We share
yes,
about 40 issues.
I am able to do. I can share
kindly, please.
It doesn't get challenged.
Okay.
But I'm really worried. Get Hutumba, Humaswe, who Zikabua, Gatolabsaro, take out Balo, Nugirala, Quan Chase Canali. Didn't never pick in a little.
What's your last question, Honorable Mabel?
My last question is this one. The head of assessment center. I'm financially embarrassed. By the way, Kitsuze Tutu. Kitsuze is same way pertaining to this.
Honorable member, I'm going to repeat myself. I hope Toto is in the dates. Because what I said earlier on, this is an issue that is true at a certain time. At a certain time. So, I know Toto is very honorable. I'm long gone.
All right. Is the person appointed to act on E2?
Yes, sir.
The person is appointed to act on E2.
Yes, sir.
And the person is tasked with reviewing high-profile cases, low disbursement, they are the informant funds. This person was financially embarrassed.
I'm going to repeat myself. This financial embarrassment issue, we are talking years to come around. Honorable member, we are talking years to come around.
Recovery.
How can somebody recovery honorable?
Recovery. Usho. This officer can worry because financially stable right now.
Yes.
But this officer ki worse ke gore kare o na dirisa le phata go ipakanya financially. Number 1, the trip is our didn't. The trip is our didn't. Ka February 2024, o tsere 15,800 as an trip. Ka May 2024, o tsere 2,200. Ka May 2024, o tsere 19,400. Ka June 2024, o tsere 10,500 as an trip. Ka July 2024, o tsere 14,000 as an trip. August 2024 o tsere 31,000 a tsena mo triping. September 2024 19,000 a tsena mo triping. February 2025 o tsere 6,000 a tsena mo triping. February gape 2025 a tsa 10,500 a tsena mo triping. Ke gore ke ka tswella in total o tsere 238,000 a tsena mo di-triping. Golo mo go ampelaetsa ga go belaetse wena gore motho o ikhushina kana wena o mo khushina ka di-tripi tse gore a se ka gore a tla imatswa ka sengwenyana go tsamaya jang go lofa?
Tata, I would not be in a position to state gore motho wa ikhushina a particular officer, an individual, because we have the strategies that we outline what is to happen, where people should go, the tripits, particularly the strategies are now re develop nako tsa teng wa bona re baakanya lephata. So ha ke le teng honorable ke kopa gore ke go utule ke kopa gore o mphe nako le nna ke go tsenya litho mo di triping tseo di bua.
Thank you so much.
More question.
No, let's transition to another.
Chair, I got a clarification.
Honorable Jacob.
I didn't. Thank you.
Honorable Jacob Saten.
Thank you, my Hey, DCEC ma the nation has not felt have not experienced Mosula wa DCEC. DCEC haya tumaka di success. DCEC le nato da kelefa. Hakitse di success down gore DCEC kila dirang. Gantsi re rata go blame that because of gore le tshwere le report go OP. Please, I'm very grateful for you are an inspiration to young girls. You are an inspiration to the marginalized. I expect results from you, serious results. This is there is a tia. But this DIS because your name Sula Rai. Lona le Catsifella. I need some form of action from you. I'm just a civilian. I don't know anything about investigation or whatever. But I have so much.
Thank you so much.
Please.
Thank you, honorable member. Watch the space.
Hallelujah.
DG, Tutuye, Eta Hitaka Reta or Coena, Otawana or Tuzari, Mihara Gitawar, so that's it. We were. You want that one, I did to kill or him, get the red flag. I don't want to around a forensic audit is super the red flag. Contribution is super the red flag. So, what do you leave job in that spirit? Look on the Kayore, Harutuale, Takosa was Utuale Mutuanam, a Hoscar Nativita. Honorable Jacobs.
Good afternoon, Accounting Officer, Director General of DCEC.
Afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Ma'am, have you realized during our PAC sessions that we've been able to bring to light issues of corruption of government funds, nepotism, stealing by servant, embezzlement of funds, influence of cartels, at the influence of the Botswana's taxpayers' money. I'm asking myself a question, and I think this you should ask yourself. Have you
red flagged our issues, our sessions. To use them as a benchmark for yourself going forward.
Thank you very much.
Can you answer the question, ma'am?
Yes, please. Thank you very much, Honorable Member. I really, I would like to categorically state, Chairperson, or we really appreciate this committee. Ka gore in tshadilo tse leng gore one tse dingwe di abo se re na le tsone mo in our database tse dingwe ra bo re sena le tsone tse leng gore re di tsaya gone ha even part of our investigations, so we really appreciate that.
Okay. My question is, why has the Directorate all these years been unable to reveal and investigate such issues of money laundering, looting, and stealing by servant? From these above ministries that we've been able to unravel at this time.
Honorable members, we need to understand, just for purposes to clarify our role as an institution, we do investigate. Investigator. We submit, for prosecution purposes, we submit to the DPP. So, I expect the prosecution ba linka DCEC. On an annual basis, we submit dockets to DPP. He stated here there's a lot of backlog he has to deal with. So we do our investigations, then we submit for purposes of prosecution.
But in the eyes of the masses and Botswana, your DCEC seems like a toothless hyena. I'm sorry to say. It's a toothless hyena. And what worries me the most is the perjury within your department itself. I mean, there was an issue where there were allegations to say there was a former president that had stolen 100 billion pula. I'm wondering, how do you steal 100 billion and you can't be caught on the radar? But at the same time, your department handed in an affidavit as evidence. And when we carry docket, so how do we prosecute people carry affidavit?
You know, there's the 100 billion or the butterfly saga. It's a part of our history that will never, it appears, will never go away. Tota, we need to come to a logical conclusion. Butterfly, the case, maybe let me just say that the way we handled the investigation in itself was deeply flawed. We investigated. Remember, there were 3 issues that were investigated. There were issues of corruption that were investigated. There's a certain young lady who has amassed the Madi Lonana Wabuang. She was also alleged to be financing terrorism. She was also alleged to. There was an allegation that money was stolen from the Bank of Botswana. So all this, Bank of Botswana stated clearly. So santarilla has I think issues the assets or the properties attached to the young lady were all cleared.
So would
issues terrorism, they do not fall within, Honorable, they do not fall within the mandate of the DCEC. Director of Public Prosecutions was also here. Because Ghana, for a case to go to court, it's DPP who prosecutes. So, that is why whatever was done at the time, it was flawed. That is why a case was taken to court, may evidence. No, DPP stated it here clearly. And I would like to also enforce or buttress more issue I raise alignment with his position. Case,
Mr. Chairman,
however,
so in other words, Mahosi was trying to keep himself relevant.
Chairperson, can I conclude? Allow me.
Allow her to answer. Also allow Jacob to
me.
Give you the time.
I'm also taking the thread or the cue from the response that the DG raised or stated earlier. He's still in pursuit. More, the 100 billion. No, reads Director General only mandate. So, and when he pursues his mandate, as he has stated, Wawira independently, ha hedite abonisa sebone. That is when ita ta corona. That is when ita ya ko DPP. Me mo bo gompieno mbagaetso really DCEC harina issue ipeka butterfly rona re itse le gore butterfly tota is closed.
But accounting officer, have you realized what it tota this saga has really tainted our country in a very bad way with our foreign countries. And you know, it is very painful to see a gimmick of some sort of this sort being created for a man to keep his relevance within government. And further than that, for him to keep himself extra relevant, to keep himself in power.
Yes.
When are you sending that man to the gallows, Ben?
Yes.
The issue of butterfly, Honorable Chairperson, has dented Lahat Larona. That we cannot deny.
You said to us earlier on that there were 2 cases of his that were ready to be prosecuted. When are they going to DPP?
I've stated, Honorable Member, my role. My role is to investigate. Somebody else prosecutes. So I do my part. I hand over the baton to the next person who will make a determination. Yeah, prosecution. Who is the DPP?
Honorable Jacob, just a quick point. Honora Ukehore, okay, we're not DPP, you are aligned. DG, DIS, Hana Loan. But I treated this matter as history because I agree currently there are issues around some officers who are doing work for you, or some officer who has been work for you. You get some prosecution of sorts. Are you aware of that, and how would you interact with that?
I am aware, sir. One of my former officers who is being charged Kapejar, but that is an issue longer. It's DPP is seized with, so we have met on the matter with DPP. So I'm aware.
So the officer was working for you, and o charge you Kapejar yano me loro ona le motirong e lo mo irumile. Oscar dumela ka thoko ka ora na le motiro e le mo iromile jaanong o lebega ke to o nosi
Yeah, so my apologies.
Yeah.
The officer na le mo tirong e re mo irumile. Me remember this issue ya perjury. It's a private prosecution. Yeah, perjury. I'm aware.
Okay. Honorable Jacobs, you may proceed.
No. I'm still going on, my chair.
Proceed. Proceed. How to proceed?
Mama Kheneni, can you tell this committee about Madia Tewanga Botswana, Atingo Murifle Machini, Abaiswa Kunt?
Say, give me a horror so get information along or him park report because I'm not aware.
Yeah. Otherwise, then it means that you are compromised. You are very well aware. You are the DG of economic crime of this country. How can you not be aware of the million Parliamentary playing? This someone hatching no nail. As a politician, I'm very well aware of it, and I know about it.
So that is why I appreciate this is a report that you are providing me.
That is looting of Botswana's money. That is why school uniform. What are we saying about that?
No,
Yes.
So, this corruption issue.
Honorable Jacobs, Nekero Ukaruna le Kahoha. Parliamentary Flamachini. Maybe you was attending to it.
And why has the DCEC not stationed some officers at the airports? Especially on the airport, the VIPs on it. Why have the DCEC
Honorable Jacobs, we do very orderly here. Like how work or Madia Parliamentary Flamachi. And then you can maybe shed a little bit of light. What was that DG again? Can you please?
My chair, DCC. I'm here just to highlight and make sure the interests of Botswana are being looked after.
Okay.
She knows very well.
DG?
That is why King Basa Station Motu at the VIP airport. She knows what I'm talking about.
Okay.
General when comrade, what are you playing if you good lord VIP or okay one? Kioneta Magamati. Ubagai.
Honorable Chair.
Yes.
Go VIP airport. Madia tomole hatin donele. Aya kunte. Ona madia tena nguso kunte lone atena mole hatin donele. Naker DCC yaka bali patela economic crime. Kimbasina the officer atinko. Why is it hella the blue uniform the DIS thing go here?
DIS are safe.
Allow Honorable Jacobs to.
That is why
Honorable Chairperson.
Chairman, as well as the plane the thing go VIP. Kizi okay one, leaving happy. Are solar the list territory. Kemangwa VIP. Everybody DIS, Tabon go VIP. Kisabo mans is a VIP. Solar cabana list theory. Kidi plane the defensive John Fally. Rakapona Hong Kong Madia Kaya.
Honorable Chair, please, just aligned. I would like to respond to the question raised by Honorable Jacobs. Hore, as a Botswana, as a citizen of this country, we appreciate that his consent, and his consent should translate into him giving us the information or giving us the report. I'm not going to sit here, I know, and I work at the parabole, we can't engage in that manner. So let me appreciate Hori. I would like to receive the report so that we can work on it. How we receive so the same as Honorable Mabewana wrote to the thought. I thought Honorable Jacobs, Honorable Chair.
Honorable, then I give you an indication. That's why in Skilakaho, Omakaramela Sawaneku. Honorable Jacobs,
I know, and she's got no evidence of Marianne Swankari aeroplane. She can ask me, I will come and tell her. And she can invite me to her office, I will tell her.
Yes.
But I want her to be well aware of the fact that when I'm plane, and I am plane. Yeah, no. Can I kill on economic cranky? Put her king this on you. Unless fully compromised, my dear. Unless fully compromised.
Thank you. Let's transition your last point. Last question.
My last question is Kenya forensic audit report. Can you tell us why this forensic audit report was done by a foreign company and not by your department? Because economic crime, why did my president, my good president, have to engage a company, a foreign company, to come and do an audit on affairs Botswana?
Honorable member, Tota Eopoto Hayan Tebahan. The president has every prerogative, to conduct a forensic audit, a commission of inquiry. He has the right and the prerogative, and we really. So I'm not in a position to say why engagement of a foreign company.
But according to me, like from my own analysis, and maybe it is time, Mama Khetnen, that you need to clean up your offices. Because you know what, a lot of us, we are looking on to you, my dear.
Yes.
You're my mother, you're my sister. So Tota, you need to clean up your office because there's a lot of perjury. There's a lot of your officers, Tota, corrupt themselves, but they're investigating corruption. It doesn't make sense. Hey.
Thank you very much. Maybe have Honorable Chairperson. And I agree with him, but he said the reason why he engages a forensic auditor from external or outside the country is because really I'm still going to repeat myself. We have history. Our institution in a history, we can't wipe away. If you look at our history from 2017 to 2023, where we changed five director generals, how can an institution perform under those circumstances? He has the right to capacitate the institution, and has an institution in a capacitation. So he has every right and the prerogative because we don't do forensic audit, we investigate.
So there have been statements made by way of inference by the leadership of the country. Whenever investigate
compromise.
So, compromise. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable Lesedi.
Ke a leboga. Ne ke re gongwe ke go kopeana DG. Maina kana ke bo DG. Gantele re lo re DG ke ipotsa gore o ra DG o. Mme mare se ka ra ko. Ma ke supa gore ke ta botsa dipotso ke di thomaganya. Ke di botsa gangwe hela then o bo di araba. Mme ke ta bo ke etse thoko gore o di araba tsotlhe. Ma ke follow mo go e ka gore ke ne ke rile ke a followa mata jaanong a ba sa dumele gore ke tsene a mme gone this forensic audit since is na go nna eta le phata la gago la itse gore bana le dingwe di case tse di setseng di le before court ke a nthakere o itse re senta
Yeah, can you come again, sir? Le patalan.
Ke ne ke since forensic audit e simolla tiro ya yone a le phata la gago DG la itse gore bana le di case tse di setseng di le before courts
Go itse bo mang, honorable?
le wena le phata la gago ke ra wena
Gore a ke a itse gore my institution e na le di case go court.
forensic audit e setse e na le di case tse di isitseng ko court
No. Ke arabe ke tswela.
o ka re o ta ithaganela
Okay.
ne ke batla go tana tso tata
O na re o batla go di heleletsa tsotlhe go ra gore e ne e lo
no se ka tshwenyega hela o ta araba jaanong mme ga e le gore o ka bo o itse gore ba setse ba na le dingwe di case tse di kopela ga makgotlatshekelo o ne o le bokgakala bokahe go ka bono o di investigatile ke ra ga ne le gore di teng mme make se ka ko make ko go ya santse ke ra di follow up mo go tseneng tsa botso go kile ga nna le mabarebare ka nako ya le investigator khanya 100 billion e le go sinya gago go kile ga nna le mabarebare a gore go thubilwe go utswilwe dingwe di file kana case ya 100 billion ke nngwe ya di file tse neng tsa utsuwa ke batla go itse gore a mme go ne go le boammaaruri ga e le gore ne go le boammaaruri a la investigator tshenyo eo ha le investigatile tshenyo eo le bonyeng ebile le bokgakala bokahe ka case yo neo ya go utswiwa ga di case gongwe no supa ga gore le na le di case tse le di investigatang tsa ga DG wa di ISS a go tlhalosa gore di case tse le di investigatang tsa gagwe di kae ebile le bokgakala bokae ka tsone se ka etogala mo tseleng o wele go na le kgang ya di helicopter e le yone o ka reng re bua re hetahela ka yone gongwe a ko ruruhatsa gore le na le di case di le kae go sinya gago tse le di investigatang tsa di helicopter gona le kgang e ntseng ke te a utwala mo go tweng di CEO bogolo jang tsa di parastatals ba ntshitswe ko go di figureng tsa bo 150,000 per month bangwe gompieno gore bana ba tsamaya ko go bo 600,000 per month a lena le di-case tse di ka bong di reportilwe le corruption a go boammaaruri o se ka nkita tsebe o tlogo nketsha molaene mme go kganye ke batlang go wela ka yone go na le mabarebare across the bontsi ja di-ministry a ne ra utlwa gona tse dingwe go twe go epilwe a borehole ka bo 6 million jalo le jalo gongwe re ruruhaletse gore a mme le na le dingwe di-case tsa didiba tse di epilweng ka matshebetshebe a madi mme ga di le teng di kae o ka re ke ema gono mme ke batla o ithaganele mo dikarabong tse ke te ke latedisa ke a leboga
Thank you very much, Chairperson, and thank you, Honorable Member. On the first question, Are we aware that there are cases already at the courts, these cases emanating from the forensic audit? I am not aware. The cases that are at the courts are cases that emanate from our investigations. When we talk about the 100 billion, the break-ins, honorable members, there was a court case in judgment there. I referred to it earlier on, where indeed these break-ins were deemed unlawful, even by the courts. Where officines as one, where it another office, more mandating wayo. On the number of investigations that we are currently conducting on the Director General Wadias,
Chairman, yeah, we saw a case. Sanser Lemoyle breaking. I could not clear her war. I was now on le breaking. Le Bokakala Bukaheka case ya breaking. Le Tere Hotseri Hekato, Kabao, Banning Hole Maleba, Kana ho suspect to our Kibanova Tubili.
Other issues is a break-in, honorable member, were reported to the Botswana police because mandate you were born. The investigations ensued. The issue went to court. Court in a judgment. Individually, I would not say yes, Mama yearly after the court ruling. In the court level, the process, the relationship, the role and mandate. Wa mapata o mabedi hore yo o mongwe o na overstepile mo the boundaries tsa o mongwe, and that should not be the case.
Yeah, breaking yellow it's a criminal offense. But it's our action. It's a remove this criminal offense. Key action.
Yeah, I would not give you a definitive answer, honorable member, because that's an issue. At the time, and they are report to Akoma policing the former DG.
It's our Parliament what we saw. Mona Charlo breaker in.
Whatever
was the action in that regard.
Honorable member. Me report on a logite police me I don't know.
Any feedback or a ad investigation said Tanzilo on a kind of case switch.
When this was in 2022. So Hakena Dikarabo on that part, yeah, feedback, honorable member, at this stage. I could follow up and provide feedback.
DG.
Then we have investigations. It's the Director General Wadias. So we have investigations that we are conducting. I'm not going to state the number, honorable member. I'm not going to state the number. I've shared earlier, I highlighted earlier, for two of these cases. One is advanced, one we've made a determination. I'm not going to state the exact number, honorable member. My apologies.
Security reasons.
No.
ke ra gore ga go twe
Not
wa re le na le di-case tse le di thothomisang tsa gagwe ka re di kae ka palo tsone tseo tse le di thothomisang ke yone potso e ne ke batla go itse ke tsore yaanong ga le thothomisa di-case mme le sena palo a tsone le thothomisa tse kae
Kana
gape ga ngo tsamaya o kgona go bua tse pedi
re ska ra lebala gore dithothomiso tsa rona ha gompieno ana ha ke bua the number ka le bolella setšhaba se re editse motho ke le ene is a member of setšhaba le ene o re editse le ra gore nka simola ke ta go disclose e be motho le ena ba burana ba ntshetse morago ka tse 2 ka tse 3 ka tse 4 ka tse 5 ka tse 6 ka tse 7
ha le mothothomisa wa ba sa itse
no
tswelela o botse o se ka wa ithoboga
gore
o latha mabogo
ga ke tlhaloganye gore ha le thothomisa motho le mothothomisa yang a sa itse o na le case ya ntlha o na le case ya bobedi o na le case ya boraro still le santse le di-investigate e nngwe hela le tswetse tse pedi o bua di-stage tsa tsone e nngwe ke yone palo ya di-case tse ba bong ba di thothomisa yaanong ga e le gore ba thothomisa dingwe di-case mme a sa bue gore di kae mme e tla re tse pedi jaanong go tabo go raya gore boammaaruri gongwe o gana ka jone Mr. Chairman a ko a re tlhalosetse gore a re di-case tse ba nang natso tse ba di thothomisang di kae
Can you maybe ask Mam Khenene one question? How would la puso a investigate you? Suspensioning?
That's a different question, honorable member. Kore ke batla o ipoeletsa ke boela ko issue ya honorable Lesedi Chairperson ya gore re ka thothomisa motho a ba sa itse. We do. For you to know that we are investigating you is when, as I said, is when we now interview you, warn and caution you. But you know, because the officer, you know, that's when you would know. But officially, you would know. Not yet.
Okay. Are tsweleng Honorable Lesedi mme gone ke tsa DG hela gona le tse dingwe gape tse di involvang DIS hela broadly the officer
le tsone ha o kgone the officer tse dingwe di involve officers who people have reported that are living beyond means, so we do have those investigations ongoing.
Thank you so much. Honorable Lesedi, no.
Then
yes.
Then on the issue the helicopters, this issue was raised in it's another more. There were a number of helicopters that were referred to. It's not just only one Misa say the helicopters and the particular ministry. And more procurement thing those helicopters. 2 they did from Dubai. 1 is from South Africa. About 6 million. Let's say wildlife. Then there was also this helicopter. It's in Botswana disappear. And I'm saying
the cases of the helicopter, the investigator, the lake, the case the helicopter, say the report to Lonkolona.
so far re na le tse 2 ke yone ke buang ka yone e le gore ke setse ke buile gore e ko DPP. Then there's one involving that office, a particular a particular ministry. E le gore yone re setse re investigatile honorable member re wetse ke yone ke reng ra itswala because it's a false on inquiry in the ele report gore a particular institution motho o rekile an accounting officer o rekile a helicopter for themselves, but we managed to secure evidence as gore that helicopter was bought for an institution ebile e bereka ko institution eo. That is why ke re right one. Those are the 2.
Ya be o na le keletso ya go bua ke utlwile se tsamaya go 6 ya di helicopter ona le sengwe se no ka se ha committee about those helicopters.
As I've said, the submitted the docket to DPP, but if honorable members banally interested, an update. It's high level, not detailed. High level update as part of our package.
Okay.
Yeah. Tswela ona le borehole drilling.
Borehole drilling, 6 million.
CEO.
Yes, 6 million. We have that case, honorable members. There were 6 million. There were other cases that the borehole drilling. I think 2. So far, all those cases in the deal has the borehole drilling. In our database. Yeah, it's a the 6 million borehole drilling. Primarily because, hey, when we do investigate, the challenge, Honorable Chair, the lack of records, where the records are so for us to submit a case go DPP without proper evidence, but so far, you are the borehole drilling.
The work you are 6
million.
So I am months. Thank you.
CEO.
CEOs, honorable member, the salaries the CEO or agarna service reported swing kadi salary the CEO nya ragarna special service reported hore CEOs are paid in the corrupt manner. Kana kidumela hore the reason why somebody is paid a certain amount wa bonale rationale wa bonale tumalano wa bonale contract from the ministry, from the SOE itself. So I would not sit here and say
Honorable, sorry. Honorable Kamal, you can't go because we have a quorum issue. You can't go. No.
Mr. Chairman, Nikir.
Honorable Kamal. Yeah, you know, but other young American Nagoriano, how some are hits on other money. You is a like a copa.
Mr. Chairman, Maki Kibotse Kitsamela Hoeleano, Kinekiri Home Accounting Office. Ako Uruhatsa Hore Le Patalaho or Risirele Tsehile Holeka he go tisa dipetse re di belaelang le di-case tsa corruption ko go lone.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable, le sireletsegile go submit the report. Yes, I've highlighted even earlier on where the Whistleblowing Act is in existence. What has been happening, people are not, conversant or are not aware of how to provide the report in such a way that they could be protected. So Rona ko DCEC renale what we call anonymous reporting. That's the first point of call. Or if you don't want to be known, how sa batla go itse go kgona go reporta o sa ipui maina o sa ipui maina. Also that o kgona go dira mokwalo o kgona go phone o kgona
ya me mare tota ha ngwe re tsheng wa boarabile re tsheng thata ke nako ko re ke ra mo seemong sa ke ka ipolela leina e be le gore ko morago tse neng ke ta ke di belaela gore le ka di leba ene o neng ke di belaela ka ene o setsa di itse mo a kgonang go confront ke sireletsegile go le kae le gone di investigations tsa lona di tsamaya bokgakala bokae go bona gore motho o ka bonga lekile that information ke mang e bilo tsaelwa di dikgato ka gore nna go ntiragaletse nna e seng motho o se le nna go ntiragaletse mme ke reporta corruption ya la e mompana ne
ya ka ke sa tswa go bua earlier, Honorable Chair, gore the Whistleblowing Act tota we have cases, we've made that observation, we have cases where people ba reporta to our offices ba hella ba victimize me. Those cases tse di leng teng re ra di follower tse leng gore motho wa supagala gore wa victimize ra re tsa dikgato no issue ya e tona e re na re bolela our sources ke gone gore ha reporta ha o batla go ipua maina mme se ka re o tswa ha lwena o bo ya go bolela mokauleng wa gore hey ke tswa go ba reporta go DCEC no o ithala le gore majority of the issues tsa gore motho a ba highlights be di simologile hela gone ho, but we cannot deny gore go nna go na le tse dingwe tse leng gore e kgonagala gore be nna leakage taking an example hela a particular person at some time or a reporter ata go reporta a bolela a colleague. This person was from an SOE. A bolela a colleague. Has no go bolela a colleague e be bolela the CEO abamo
mere account officer. Well, ha ke batla gore go lebega ya ka ke tenna ke a itsheka nna le nkolota feedback se ke batlang go se bua ke gore ke sure gore nna ka tiro ya mehela ga gona ope e reng ke sena go nna ga gona ope o kileng ya re ke sena go nna ke ya go reporta go wena ka mmolelela go itheleng ke letswa ke ene motho yo ke tswang go mo report a go do tsa lona le na le di officera tsa DIS
ga rena di officera tsa DIS se
o ra go simolola le ke ra gongwa ko nne specific o ra go simolola le a ra mo bogompiekong kana o ra hela since le nna teng
since re nna teng, but me kana we need to be alive to the situations. There was a time where the infiltration that and we can't deny that. But me mo bogompieno ga rena ope o re dumelang gore o ka tswa a tswa ko lephateng le sele
ke tsa gore di hedile Mr. Chairman ke ne ke rahela gore ba itse gore ke tata go bata sekoloto ke bata
go bata sekoloto sa gore
thank you Chairman kandre no bua ka forensic audit report gore you don't have it au ka latola gore ofisi ya gago e romeletswe
the summary forensic report. Ka re kore ha no re potso ke ne ke botsa gore ampo no budwa gore do you have report there forensic audit? It should not have been no, I don't have it, full stop. Maybe you could have what the full report make a summary. Secondly, secondly, when you talk of the 100 billion saga, Bridget Mutsepe, Costa Africa, why it's a million city, Leraure Hamongwe, I created Bosebwa Maruribo. Or my dear, 100 billion. I be good thing about Botswana mama tateng how our sense more let the international community tell us are live centre. I be there na mutu o 600 million zedikaloka. There are mutu trillion macao. I'm sorry to use that word, but such a lie. Haha bon let's tell them what's a cut sabo hello. Let's on the borehole drilling some 6 million. Correct, you don't talk about the hanging. Kore le reporte so gore le rona re boleletso gore di boholo dingwe di dirilwe ka 6 million la itse le le tsamaya ka case ya teng le reporte so leng le tsamaya ka. Thank you Chair.
Thank you so much. O tla di araba o di lo magantse le tsa nya ke kopa jalo right o di ne.
Thank you. Go dumedisetswa betso DIS le DCEC di kile be di itana ka noga e tshela a tualo Setswana seemo se ntse jang gompieno le sampontse le thabana hela
gona le maybe make well pele ko honorable Monare ke well pele ko ya honorable Monare ya the forensic audit report. The honorable member now was have you received the forensic audit report? And I stated not yet. However, I would like to qualify that I received the summary. The summary of the report I received, but the report itself I have not yet received.
Don't you think you should have qualified it from the beginning? Can I go to our civil audit report?
Tota honorable Monare ya no heto na mo chance ya bobedi na le ke tsa ro hitisa kgang e nngwe hela and that's it ya no ka ro di arabetsothe.
Then the borehole, the 6 million borehole report, Kiwile, honorable members, we are investigating. We could have concluded this investigation last year, but I've stated what a challenge on the issue study record keeping. This report we received around 2022, 2023. So, it's a renako, I admit, but really, that challenge lead on to delays.
Okay.
Then the relationship, the butterfly issue, I've said it and said it and said it over and over. Honorable members, I align myself to the issue, the position that the DPP raised previously. The way we handled the butterfly issue. For an investigation to be conducted, there has to be an allegation or there has to be intelligence. So, at the time, intelligence was there. At the time, there were allegations that that is why there was a task team that was established to deal with this particular big case. But from the DPP perspective, okay, o taba I libile mo bogompieno. It's an issue where we can spend a week.
I know you're itching, Honorable Rahim, but let's give Honorable Khonegile a chance. Alhamdulillah Tabana.
Garisa Tabana, Honorable Khonegile, Garisa Tabana, Lydia is tota re ra bereka mo keeps to their lane, mo we ratirwa. Le no o le boleletse malobale ha honorable members.
Ware di case tsa gagwe di palonyana tse dingwe ga di tswelele ena ha le ha maloba re nako ene ba le raider ba ne ba bata sengwe ba kgona go se bona ba se tsere ya no you are at peace mme wena o ha di case dingwe tsa gagwe le ditswetse o di tsholotswe a sore nako ene ba le raider na utswa di file tsa gagwe.
Yeah, honorable member. Being at peace, the investigation. We are at peace with our mandates. So send the file in the ever then nearly yaboneko. But Rona Mobumpino, I will repeat myself. Rebecca Sente.
So now when Valley Raider, what's a file?
There was even somebody from registrar. I think the chief registrar at the time was there when the raid was conducted and the files in its own are registered.
Not so the files of Mangan.
No, I remember. There was one file, where it had to do with the procurement that was carried out by the DCEC, and the issues of encryption by a certain company. So, the people of interest in that procurement, DCEC made procurement in this particular company. More than 1 file, but that I cannot account. Because so it cannot be more than one, cannot be more than two.
Are you saying you don't have inventory file? Let's say it's a DIS, I mean, it's a you have a registrar medicinal.
I think one file in the investigation alone. It's during that time.
Investigation,
yes.
Thank you. Arsen moya nya Italy ora ora sene sabatu aki DIS setsere. DIS is at peace. Ka hore case e tswetswe. File ene batiwa etsere e tswalang file e tswalang case. Arsen mo issue ya tender cases. Or the tendera Molahatsil Lavotsan. I keep local government, I keep ministry no hela. Did it take what didn't? Militako thing dinale toko hudirasante corruption characteristics. Lidirahulekai Lily DCEC within your strategy, Holeka. Go hokotsa kana go nyeletsa dikgang tsa di tendera gone mme tse le di tshwereng maikelo a lona ke gore target percentage ya go hokotsa dikgang tse ke bokae by when kana ngwa go hitile o rile watch the space. I hope you are not going to say watch the space.
I did watch the space last year. So I never did. I'm only saying this now. Thank you very much, Honorable Member. On the issues, it's procurement. To what extent are we assisting the process? Yeah, procurement. One of the first item that I raised when I did my executive summary, honorable member, we were doing what we call a priority of 3 sectors. One of them being procurement. Really, from the procurement perspective, when we conduct investigations of procurement, our corruption prevention would be auditing the procurement processes across the ministries or SOEs. Our public education would be sensitizing Botswana out there corruption within the procurement sector. So it's a strategy that the corruption prevention mandate ke gone gore go audit processes. A number of processes that procurement within the different ministries. So ke nngwe ya dilo tse leng gore tota re ra dira go leka go baakanya tshenyetso setšhaba within the procurement process. Then the target. About next me the statistics didn't summarize the statistics, honorable chair, on the issues of procurement. From our reports, from the reports receiver. Can I just be given a 1 minute look for the statistics?
Yep. Minute granted. Rokupa utsa piho pili. Ansali. Uliko pan. Utsa piho hape ka.
Oh, ke khwase honorable chair.
Ba go batele tsone ntsere tsweletse. Re lebe ga re beilwe ke nako ka ha mosinjano.
Okay. Thank you, Honorable Chair. The statistical information, the high profile cases, repeat sa ho investigate and conclude high profile cases dealing with corruption, deal 5 within the 12 months. And we're talking about cases, procurement, sale is 275 million and above. The mega projects. Then the rest of the statistics, when we talk other sectors, one case, one simple case has already 1,000 illegally allocated plots. that is why really part of our sector-specific issues. The DRTS, let's one case, one individual. Also, 1,600 illegal driver's license acquisition. One person.
Honorable Malusi. Fake. Sorry,
have an interviewer. They admit or no, that like this particular license. Maybe like a regular 3,000, regular 7,000. I've never been to Hokwalama, so I've never been to the road test, make it with a driver's license. That is why we focus on these three. So, Mogoya, what else? You know, you would.
I could do a work permit. You're not a
road worthiness permit.
No, the work permit is our very.
Yeah, the work permit. We've gone further to become part of the task force that has been established by the ministry itself. Because there's a lot of road there. They've even suspended some of the officers. So we are working with ministries some of these issues, honorable members.
You are not mentioning local government, but local government seems to have issues, Leone. It's a corruption. Is there any specific reason why you are not mentioning it? You are not mentioning transport in terms of roads project. It's 10 years in and all this. So you are not mentioning these cases.
It's unfortunate, honorable member, we can't mention all of the institutions. Haridira our stats. The Ministry of Local Government, it always comes tops when it comes to the report. Really, Ministry of Local Government, they but me for a very different reason. For this year, Ministry of Lands, or Ministry of Lands and Agriculture, the report is already leading to but all the ministries the statistics is at the mehela.
We need to have honorable Conner, they give us a report here, a super ministry, how are they faring? And or the type of corruption related offenses. Yeah, will that help?
Yeah, it will help. I think they can give it to us in 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah, when they bring the rest of
I think happy it will help also. General go DCEC information have a monthly publication. We are dealing with so many cases, so many reports, so many words. It can become a deterrent to a number of people who are in our ministry, in our department, and all this one. I win.
True, sir.
Just quickly, we cartel. I get to cartel and say, break a cartel thing. Because whatever else is leading to
particularly with the Kenyan Salahats, that maybe like Modula still. These cartels exist. Harris Mulala driver's license in Canada, DRTS, Department of Road Transport and Safety. There's a deep-rooted cartels. They operate one for acquisition of the driver's license, acquisition of the road worthiness permits, and a lot of other licenses. There we have noted maybe we are at an advanced stage ka the investigation. We've conducted an operation intelligence across Botswana on these issues. Bango ba se ba kile ba tshwarwa ko maung gone ana gore re ba tsontse ba itebaganye ba ya makgotlatshekelo. Then when it comes to immigration, labor and home affairs, le yone go supahala observations tsa rona ke gone gore di teng di cartel tseo. That is why we are working around the clock with the ministry to conclude a lot of investigations within that ministry. Then the other issue land. Just one plot ya go supahala ya go ntsha gore motho o tswa go acquire di plot tsa bo maipahela bo ba di rekisa tsa Botswana right now ba ipithela le gore ba tshwere di plot tse leng gore were not even allocated. So those are the issues tse leng gore tota I'm sure you are also aware gore breakthrough ya rona itile last year the key suspect a commit suicide. So me
thank you.
Thank you. Kana ke gore as long as go sana any prosecution, as long as o pasa e tronko setšhaba le rona ha re bone le dira sepe, more especially as long as your focus and emphasis is on small men who are driver's license. Last week, 2 weeks back, you were supposed to go to former minister, let the current minister. That's supposed to be Horabe Baseka Humpiano can I be but so and it was stopped. So as long as the let's move driver's license, but Baba sing it in the hearts in millions and billions of pula, let's about the Kato in the name of high profile cases, Khalidi receipt.
Again, Honorable Member and Honorable Chair, I'm going to repeat myself. My role is to investigate. I do not prosecute. The prosecutorial powers lies with the Director of Public Prosecutions. We submit our cases or dockets to the DPP. So that it's
so it is the DPP yo sayeng go sekisa minister ayo le former minister Auta, the director.
I guess in your new bill, look up prosecutorial powers.
No, sir, no.
Okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. Go ahead. Maybe they are interested in the Constitution.
They are.
So that will be a subject of the comprehensive review of the Constitution. Go ahead.
Honeme halesetsele heditsele le hendetse DPP. King go thona gore le re hela re heditse case ya minister ayo le minister ayo re hendetse DPP gore e sekise. Haka ke la ntsha go mo hela hanna public.
We can't because Ghana Rona Harisa Raborisa an investigation report.
Your investigation report just to briefly summarize it and say we are dealing with this case re bonyana re hitse go DPP.
Yes, let's take a typical example where a report is concluded honorable. The act of corruption social opprobrium. So and so is corrupt. It dents even your integrity. And imagine your integrity being dented or say corrupt or say so that is why we want to protect even the disclosure. That is why even our act, yari rona, yari governor, Lenna cannot disclose to any other person that Honorable Gaborone is under investigation for corruption.
Thank you so much. I think Udi say.
Honorable.
Right.
Chair, Meritene mo di issues tsa staff welfare within DCEC. Hore do you ha ke tsona setse go ba hitile ka yone ha re samporele go committee yangwe. Yeah. Khanza ombudsman cases delayed progression.
Baka some do not kill staff welfare, but I think we didn't get there.
We didn't get there.
Yeah.
Okay. Ombudsman, do you have any ombudsman issues? Do you have any court cases? Obvious. Do you delayed progression? Tata mo multiple grading. And then on issue ya constraints tata ko human resources ne le bua hore le na le bothata jwa bodiredi boitsanape ha o setse go ta mo dikganyeng tse o ka reng di boketenyana di complex investigations la rialo mo go tshwana ga bo forensic accounting, digital investigations le financial analysis na le rialo ya no issue ke gore strategy king le dira go le kae, what plans are you putting in place gore le khone go nna le capacity bokgoni jwa go dila le dikgang tsone tse gongwe ke sone se tautona irile ha le ba hela ba re ba forensic audit. Thank you.
Thank you. Staff welfare issues.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Staff welfare issues we have outlined in the executive summary. The 5 cases that we had go officing ya ombudsman, 4 CCD did close it. 2 cases were for non-payment ya discuss scale. Issues lack of progression. You know, Tata, there's a issue. There's a cry out there, even from myself, that a lot of our officers have progress. Because of the multiple graded scales, what about a progress from C3 up to C1, and then because of the vacancies or the position. Honorable members will recall there's a moratorium the positions, so we have not had any increase the position, but the officers are stuck. There is no progression. We have to make do with the little that our bill let I support ka botsa pele gore re khone go bona le tsone di poster re khone go bona le di budget tse di khonang gore tse di ka re khontsha gore re investigate with research service pe
bill eta ena le human resources aspects mate.
Bill kana intention is to de-link the DCEC from the mainstream public administrative structure. So that part is also contained in the report.
Okay.
Or in the bill.
Okay.
Then, the capacity, capacity we are still. Honorable members, let's say our voices capacity. Right now, we work with partners. We have partners by Longor Rebecca Libone, Babar to some particularly the issues on ICT, financial investigation analysis, and so forth. So, rethokanale that capacity.
Che, ha khone go tlhalosa gore le tlhokana le capacity. What are you doing to get that capacity? What is your engagement with DPSM to get that capacity? Kana DCEC ya gompieno sa pe tshwanela le ya bo Tamon Gatolo ya bo goreng a utsule a utsule nya ha o khonela le gore o ka tsena mo sebala magolong gore gore nya me kana ha ke re utsule ke ra 1 2 3 bona movement wa madi jana le jana within lona le diraing. Are you coming up with the departments tse di ntseng jalo kana ja?
We re tebagantse le gone gore re kope kana re submite the requests tsa rona mabapi le capacity, both human and financial, even the tools. Me ga ra nna hela because ga te sa re go tlogela tsatsing se ke se moriting. We've identified partners ba ileng gore ba re thusa ka tse re di tlhokang tsa maranyane tse leng gore di kgona gore ba mo dinakong. Mme hela sello seo sentse se teng, Honorable Chair.
Thank you so much. Re di buile ka boleile ne ke re tsene mo go lebeleleng buka tse di apele ga rona tse. Honorable
Maybe before Osana mo dibukeng, Honorable Chairperson, ne ke re gongwe re highlight hela gore there are 1 or 2 issues that we would like to state from the memorandum. Se le gore re lemogile gore di ka tswa di omitilwe kana di ne di sa includiwa.
Okay. State them.
The memorandum I received from Parliament no contain one case under paragraph 29, statement 15, Ebuanka advance accounts recovery in the amount to 4.1.43. Me go le behanga ga gwa iragala sepe the action e le gore ne se ra le contact the Accountant General's Office for guidance. Me ra advise gore the matter in our report the matter o include more report ya rona, even though o tsentse sa correctiwa re lebel. In addition, the following cases were omitted rona re ka tebo rona from the memorandum, although they were not closed in the previous PAC session. One case under paragraph 28, statement of other deposits. 5 cases under paragraph 33, statement number 22. Then on the issue impressed there ke so fetse thebe. The officer was issued an impressed amounting to 24,239 pula 25 tab. Her retire the impressed aba account 22,257 pula eli ka receipt, leaving an outstanding balance here 1.9. So the outstanding balance was subsequently cleared. May edira kadi nako tse di harologaneng. So be go hella go sala a remaining balance ya 365 pula 20 thebe yone ya retire ka 2024-2025, while 1.6 ana retire ka 2023-2024. So ne ke re like ke highlight that Honorable Chair before you go into the books.
Accountant General. Wow, I no follow ile.
It is noted.
Are you okay with that? Thank you so much. Honorable Sedi.
Mr. Chairman,
Era.
Nyame, accounting officer wa utala na ga bona specific se tshwering ke ra ke a nota spela ke ne ke dumela gore ya ka a supa a le gore ke di kgantsa accountant general ya ka di acknowledge ke kope gore ngwa accountant general le control of account maina la builwa le mantse go na le control of account le manager finance e bile le ksetso go to go araba o ya no gore gore control of account le technical advisor wa committee le ba accountant general ba ta ya go ka ba kopa gore ba go kopana di cases then ba ta tswala tse di tswalwang then ba ta tsa recommendation ko committee mme hela Mr. Chairman ga go gontsi mo ke go observileng ko nteng hela ga gore go a lebega gore kana ga ba auditiwa mo ngwageng o neo o re lebileng dibuka tsa one mme hela gongwe go na le dingwaga le tse pedi tse tharo tse motho a di lemogileng gore go nnile le over expenditure ko page 124 to 126 ya ASA buka e tona e go nnile le over expenditure mo di allowancing ka 2.9 million go nna le a service charge ya 1.4 million ke tse ke di observileng ha ke tsamaisa matho ha Mr. Chairman mme gape ga go nna le rewards ya 2 million mo page 421 ntse le gone mo ASA gongwe hela motho na ka iletsa go itse gore ke go nnile le unspent ya 21 million e le madi a kana mo di projecting gongwe go ha se ka DCEC investigation skills and equipment 21 million gongwe la bohelo motho ka batla go itseela gore a mme nnile le bothata jo gongwe le ka bolle bo register le kana le boitemogetse le ja salary overpayment mo ngwageng one wa 122 kra 22-23 ke tsone tse neng ke re gongwe ke di observile mme ke tsa gore ga gona le dingwe tse ba leng ready mo dikarabong tsa tsone ba re dihe e bile gore jaanong ba ka go kopana tsa madi Mr. Chairman ke lebile nako ke a leboga sena thank you
go na le dipetse le ka responda mo go tsone gompieno control of accounts
ke a leboga Chair ne ke re honorable I repeat the statement he was talking about in regard to the development.
How ya ko page 421 mo go yone ya ASA o ta lema gore le nnile le unspent ka 21 million mo di project in di tshwana DCEC investigation skills and equipment ha ke tsora ke no e bata mme potso a mene le yone gore ko observile gone mo ya bo hello ne kere a mme le ka benne la itemogela gore le nnile le salary overpayment ka gore gone mo ke kgwetho across maphata otlhe ga government re lemoga gore le duela di ghost employees kana ka tsela hela go ye gongwe ka reng ha le thalosa la e supa lona mme re lemoga gore madi a ga government bontsi jana ko o ithala a duetswe go sa tshwanna gore a duelwe mme le matshebe a madi ke ne ke ra le ikabo le itemogetse seo mo ngwageng ono wa madi o ne o re examinang I thank you
ke a leboga Chair ne ke re gongwe honorable a lebelle gore for the financial year 22-23 in regard to the project ne re filwe madi mo projecteng tse 3 hela e leng ya upgrading of CMS le ya DCEC technical works le ya DCEC investigation enhance skill and equipment. The project tse tsotlhe tse di kwadilweng hana ke for the years 2017 to 2023.
jaanong go raeng ke in a continuation or what ke ra gore a ke re o ka thatswa ka gore rona ne re iphika ha re le ba mo dibukeng tsa gago
Erra rona hela for kore dira gore
ya tswelela thokomoloko
dira gore bo re filwe madi for that NDP for that 5 years mme ka ngwaga wo go na la allocated. If you can look to our report page 5 ke yone ta go bontshang gore ngwaga o nne re wa 22-23 ne re filwe bokae mme re kgonne go a dirisa jang.
nya ke re usually the case tse ha le ntse la Pierre ya ka nna le last sitting ya the 61st the case tse long gore ra be re setse re hitile ka tsone re sa di examine wa itse gore ra di tswala ke re ha ile tse di due for closure then kore how similar no pick from 17 to here na re le gore ke lebile figure mo the current year under review ke sone se gongwe re sa wela nensent
ke dumalana le wena gongwe how asa yone e buang ka teng mme re tshwantse re go na le statement se e leng gore ga sa phere in this asa se le gore tsone se be se no pola ngwaga one wo se bua go the statement 6
accountant general ako o chipeini ka gore wena wa itse ra serla ha kwena ela re ka go rotolela matho mo di explanations ntse dingwetse.
Thank you, Honorable. Nyamita ki supehela goreng ke dumela gore on page 5 ba supile hela sentle goreng actual expenditure for the period under review ke 4 million out of 4.4 million onne ba mohilwe go ra gore ha ba spenda only about 300,000.
Okay, no, thank you. Explanation I think it's fine. Hora gore ne ke libile ke tsa go morago. Me mare dumela gore ke tsone tse neng ke di observile. Me ga ke tsora go santse o ka tswella ka di karabo ke bodise ka ya overpayment go le patella ga go gore a me o ka bonile le overpayment. Gona le ile gape ya di under expenditure.
I think, Honorable Chair, thank you very much. The issue overpayment because we arise from the allowances. From our observation, the arise from the allowances, and earlier on, can I highlight some of these allowances? These allowances are paid to all of our officers. So how we shortage kana how ba act very helari revire into the account. So far, super halal this 2.9 million nearly developments into.
Nya mikana Mr. Chairman ke tsone tse neng ke di supa gore ke ne ke batla gore bone ba tlhalose a ke re ba supa ya le gore ko di allowance ba nnile le 2.9 million bo ba nna le saves charge ya 1.4 bo ba nna le rewards ya 2 million ke tsone tse neng ke batla gore ke di supe kana nna ke di phikile jalo e le tsone tse neng ke batla gore le di tlhalose mme a ke itse gore ka nne ke re la go e kopanela ke kopa gore le go e kopana e be ke supa gore nna tsone tse ke tsone tse ke di phikileng yana ke sone se neng ke wela ka ya overpayment gore a nne la itemogela overpayment mme ke tsaya gore ke jaaka ga la araba mme kana ke re ko phelelong ya letsatsi re tshwanetse gore ko phelelo le be le supa gore madi a la recover kana le ikaela go a recovera jaaka gore madi a ke re ke a setšhaba. I think.
Okay.
Noted, Honorable Chair.
Technical advisor.
Yeah, ke tsa gore re tla buisana le bone Chair to answer those few questions tse a di ba boditseng bogolo jang gore ha ile gore ne lo budgetile madi la bolo a hetsa monne la heletsa lo tlhokana le gore lo vaya ra mangolo a tsenye mo teng ne go tsalwa ke eng gone go I think those questions ke tswentse ne motlotleng ga a di botsa se sengwe la se ne ile ga le ke bona tlhaloso ya teng ya di telephone bills tse go supa gore ne di budgetitswe 75,000 ko revenue ya lona 75,000 mme be go eletsa go collectiwa 15,000 hela ke bona gore gate batho ba bangwe ba neelwa di-cell phone ba neelwa eng ga ke itse ra gore go tlhile ne ba neelwa di-cell phone ba tsenyediwa madi otlhe hela yaanong go sena a e leng gore motho o ka exceeda limit jang gore government a kgone go recovera seng mo mading a di-phone. Thank you.
Era ke a leboga. Yeah, in regard to the cell phones, how neelwa cell phone o tswalwa pin a ke pin ke yone e letsang ya no tswalelwa pin hence ha go kwa nna le bilele ka mo di phone mo o neelwa di minutes tsa gago.
How do you exceed that?
How do you exceed that? Yeah, khatlha
o emela
kgwedi ya latela era. And it's still going on.
Are you good? Yeah. Honorable Accountant General, Auditor General.
Thank you, Chair. I believe Retla convene le bone le the advice and close the thank you.
Oh, sorry. Ke tsa Rabuile accounting officer le team ya gago tsa gore a ke re ne ditile ka strategy sa gore go bua wena hela
re se dumalane
ne le se dumalane me tota dikgare di buile ka bontsinyana mme se se supagalang o ka a ke ntse ke reditse mapalamente ke gone gore gongwe you must pick up your game, step up the pace insofar as corruption is concerned. Kana corruption e bleed economy ka tsela e hakamatsa. Jaanong go ra gore le tsosa dinao le lwantshe hela mo go ta utwalang gore mo le lona se tshaba sta le filang gore go na le bonko di a boga ka ha ba e leng gore ha ba ka ba go tshwara o mo mathateng. Right now I don't get a sense ya gore batho ba tshoga ga ba lakanye ka ha corruption e tsweletseng ka teng tse re utwalla le di report tse di tsenang go lona go supagala gore batho ga ba ise ba nne le letshogo la gore ba ka nna mo mathata a matona ha ba ka dira corruption. So gongwe go a tlhokagala tota DG la ntlha o re no le ka go stabilize organization ra amogetse gore no le ka go stabilize yaanong ga e ka ke ya nna on stability mode hela yaanong ka gore once e stabilized so ra bona action e tshwaetseng ne ke go tsaya ka thogalo ga gore watch the space a ke re ga gore watch the space o raya gore lebelelang ditiragalo di tla diragala ga e le gore legala la action ya rona le taba la itumelela go bona tse re tla di dirang mo nako e khutshwane tumelo ya rona ke gore le tla dira jang go a tshwenya tota bogolo jang dikgang tsa procurement go lebega ke toka ke gone ko madi a puso a senyegang le go gaisa go batla gore le di emela ka dinao kgang tsa land related corruption di teng nko le di-level tsenye leitho le tsenye matho le bone gore dikgang tse tsa land related corruption di sala morago ka gore tsamaya mo di-land board-eng mo le tla utlwa gore dikgang di dintsi dikhathele tsone tse tsa kgang tsa lehatshe tse hetse le di itemogetse le lona a nko re utlwe go diragala mo mahelong a setoropo and peri-urban areas like bo mo go ditshane go thata go bodile ka dikgang tse tsa lehatshe mme tsholo yalo ke gore ke lona yala ba le ka thusang mme ebile dikgang tse dingwe ke tsone tse le ntse le di bua tsa bo DTRS tswelelang hela le di sa le morago. We want to see movement on high profile cases. Ramo le sinare kana ha ngo kare le constraint go dira le ba ile gore ba hetsi ba le mo pusong go pieno o ka re gantsinya la ka go morago ba ba hetseng ba dule re tshenyo ke tshenyo dira ke o mogolo go tsa ke o mosha a sa lo morago hela ka thwahalo timelo ya rona ke gore we will be watching the space me monate wa PAC ke gore go tla re go ise go ka te gore kopane gape gone re go bolela gore nna re ne ra le ba space ra ba ra ithoboga a ke re go ntse monate wa teng ke one o ebile ke gone ka ha re berekang ka teng re bereka ka gone gore wena o ipohe ka mahoko e te ra re kopana gape re te rute gore a nno o dirile sepe se se bonalang a re tsweleleng re bereke ka tsela e ntseng jalo jaaka ke ne ke simolola ha re simolola tota rona re le PAC ga rena dithata tsa go investigate mo go tshwana ga lona mme ebile gape ga rena dithata tsa go sekisa lona ke lona ba e leng gore tiro eo lo ka e dira ga le sena le utlwa dikgang gone honorable Jacobson a mme leete le sa le morago dikgang tsa PAC ha e le gore leete le di sa le morago lona ke lona ka itseng gore ha e le gore kgang e ntse ka mohuta mme corruption e tshwanetse bo e ka bonala gone ga ke ra gore tshwarang ka thata batho le tswa di-lifestyle audit ne re sena nako ka bore boleletse gore tota mme yanong tsone di-lifestyle audit tse le sala morago motho ha a dirile jaana le mateo a mantsi go tsagile di-farm go tsa rekileng ne o ka re bolela mme ga ko di diro ka gore wa re ke yone tsela e bonolo tota ya go goroga ko motho yo o senyang go checka matshelo a gore a mme a tsamaelana le income ya gago o ne o re raya jalo di direng batho beso ka thwalo e kalo tumelo ke gore le tla sireletsa lehatshe la rona le tla sireletsa lehatshe la rona ka gore mahatshe a mantsi a oleng a e le gore gompieno a gogoba ka mangole ditsholelo di ko tlase bothata jo botona e nnile corruption e dirwang ke bohata hela bohata bogolo jang ja babusi ba bereka le bagwebi e le gore yanong ba gotela lehatshe hela mo e leng gore ga go a boitsega bo e re ko morago lehuma le thoko la ditiro tala di bo di gola mo lehatsheng mme ka mao kona batho beso re lebogela gore bo le thotse le rona it's not an easy day DG mme tsa gore strategy gongwe o se lekile o lekile strategy go tuo gane ba ro bata phego strategy sa go bua le nosi se sta go bolaisa sepse mme ka gore yalo re ka patalla gone ha